Hello. Let's get comfortable because I want us to talk about a topic that might be a bit controversial. Pain. Let's talk about pain. But I want us to talk about pain. This is where the controversy kicks in. I want us to talk about pain as a tool. You're like, what? She's lost her mind. No. But before you exit or before you close this, just hear me out for a second. I really want us to start viewing pain as not as the creator, the universe, or whatever, however you identify with, with this. I want you not to see it as something is trying to punish you and out there to get you, but instead, us start seeing pain as a necessary tool for our growth. Like, I know this is such a huge concept. I'm not gonna lie, this is something that is very, very big in Kabbalah. And when I first started studying Kabbalah, I was just like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? why am I here? Am I lost? Like, this it makes no sense. They've lost their mind. But it took me a while to get comfortable with that notion, that idea, that concept. But I'm not gonna lie, it really changed my life. Because what happens is when you start going through the difficult challenges, and I'm sorry to break it to you if you're not aware of that, but these challenges are gonna happen, right? Because this is part of life. We don't come here to chill and Netflix and not do anything. We actually come here to be squeezed out of our comfort zone, because this is the only way that we can progress and we can elevate our consciousness and grow into this beautiful thing. And I actually have a question for you. Take a second to think about a very challenging, aka dark period of your life, that when you were going through that period, you had no idea how you were going to get through it. You couldn't see any light at all. It was pitch black. Take a time to think about that. When you were in it, it was so you probably felt very hopeless, helpless, and again, couldn't see any exit, couldn't see any light. But somehow you made it through, because the beautiful thing is that we always do, which is why I always like to say that this life is a win-win. We always make it through. It might not be in ways that we expected. It might not even be in ways that we actually wanted. For example, if that dark period of your life was the end of a relationship that was quite foundational in your life, yes, obviously the outcome being the end of the relationship probably was not what you wanted at the moment, or if you're going through this right now. However, when you look back, often you will start seeing the gift of that period. Now, I'm not diminishing your pain, your hurt. No, all of these things, the grief is very valid, 1000% valid. But it's just when we go through the pain, we cannot see anything else because it's pitch black. However, when we get to the other side, we often look back and we're like, wow. For example, I talked about it before. Like, I went through like crazy like health stuff, and when I was in the midst of it, I could not see any I just couldn't see anything. For example, I remember there was one night where I ended at the emergency, and I remember it was just like, wow, I couldn't see anything getting better. But then somehow I kind of like chose to trust in the higher power. Obviously it wasn't like that right away, but eventually I got there. And now looking back, I'm so grateful for that experience, because to be honest, I wouldn't have delved so deep into my spirituality hadn't it been for that experience, for that dark time. So this is something that I've been working really, really, really hard on lately, is embracing the dark times. Before, there used to be it used to feel like butting heads, like, oh my goodness, not again, now what, can we just catch a break, can a girl have a break for once? Like, the mindset used to really be like that, and I'm pretty sure like you probably feel the same way sometimes. But lately I've been working so hard, and I can start feeling it paying off, understanding that it's part of the process. And also the funny thing is, I used to get really mad because I had this weird perception that, wait a minute, if we're spiritual, why is life still so hard? But again, there's this concept even in Kabbalah that it's actually because the creator loves you. It's actually because the light loves you, and the light wants the best for you. All of these things are not happening to you but for you. They are experiences, opportunities. They're opportunities that show up in your life to help you overcome certain limitations that you have. And let's be for real, if it wasn't for those challenging moments, most of us would probably never grow. I'll throw myself under the bus here. I'll be the first one to go. Like, let's be for real, okay? Pain is uncomfortable, and we are wired in a certain way as humans not to like, we don't like rocking the boat too much. Like, if it ain't broken, why fix it? That's how the saying goes. So I'm keeping this kind of short today because, again, I don't have any outline. This seems to be the style lately, and I'm all here for it. Shout out for Pisces season. I'm just throwing all this inspiration my way. But I just want you to know, and also because, Pisces season, a lot of people struggle during that season. It doesn't have to be that way. The more you surrender, the more beautiful the journey becomes. I forgot where the camera was for a second, and I was like fixating at that point. But anyways, I forgot where the lens was. So I think this is why I felt this push to record this today, because I feel like someone needs to hear that. Again, because a lot of people struggle during Pisces. The energy is intense, but again, every time the energy is intense, see it as a great opportunity. Here's the thing, the darkness is actually often a direct proportion to the amount of light that you can reveal. What that means is that you need to have a great darkness to reveal great light. I said that before, I will say it again, but it's kind of like if you go outside with a candle when it's 12 p.m., well, you're not going to reveal much light, because guess what? It's already like light outside. It's already pretty light. We can't see your candle. But if you walk into the deepest, like the most pitch black room on earth with your candle, oof, best believe it's gonna be the greatest light reveal. So in a way, we need this contrast of opposites in order to reveal greatness, to reveal light. What that means, without the poetic thing, is that we need to dive into the depth of our soul so we can retrieve gifts that we didn't even know we had. I know, looking back now, I had no idea I could be so strong. It's okay, we're not gonna get emotional here, girl. Keep it together. But seriously, looking back, when it felt like there was so much despair, and it felt like there was never gonna be an end, and the pain was gonna be there forever, but then somehow you hold on, and you stick through it, and then you just, like, most importantly, you surrender. This is the most important. You surrender, and you remember that there is a greatest power. You remember that the universe is there for you. It's not trying to punish you. It is actually orchestrating this perfect opportunity to help you grow and to help you reveal amazing gifts about yourself that you had no idea you had. Because I promise you, once you make it to the other side, you will look back and you'll be like, wow, I had no idea I could be so strong. Wow, I had no idea that I actually had what it takes to build a business like this. I had no idea that, I could love myself like this after going through like this crazy breakup or crazy like divorce. I had no idea that I could be so self-reliant. I had no idea that I could, just do the hard thing and just feel this deep sense of satisfaction with myself. Or I had no idea that, I could actually transform my body the way I did by like doing, showing up and committing to showing up and showing up to committing to my health and committing to like all of these things. All of these things are things that you can tell yourself, like in the future, once you get through the hardship and then you looking back and introspecting about the crazy adventure that is life. So that's all I have for you today, my love. As usual, don't forget that if you feel like really lost right now, or you need direction, you need help, you could always book a session with me. Your birth chart has so many answers for you, by the way. This is why I truly believe it's a crime. Everyone should have their birth chart reading. Even if you don't do it with me, please, please, please do yourself a service and get yourself, know what you're working with, because you can know your great strength that you can use as a superpower to get you through those dark times. It's pretty much building your toolkit so you can do life better and it can be more fun. And also you can know what your shadows are, what your weaknesses, what your blind spots are. That way you can put the right energy on them and they don't control you, but you control them. That's why we're doing all this. It's not because we just like to suffer and make life hard, but it's just because life is gonna be challenging anyways. So we want to have the right tools, and we want to really be prepared and armed with the right equipment so we can do the job and we can have fun going through everything, the joy, the hardship, and everything in between, and seeing it as the wild adventure that life is all about. On that note, my love, I will see you in the next one, and keep shining bright like a diamond that you are.